Now, this isn't normal scenery. You're used to be sat on a chair in my office part of the office garage customization bit. Instead, I'm inside my agency because, well, the car today that we're breaking down has Imani tech. So we're here instead to break it down and show you the customization because I thought I could show you what Imani tech you can get, and I'll break it down for you. But the car today is the Annis 300R, and you can get this car only temporarily for 2,075,000 on Legendary Motorsport. And I say only temporarily because this car is only available till the 28th of December. So as I'm filming this, you have 8 days. When the video actually comes out, you'll have 7 days. So if I were you, I'd go buy the car, because honestly, it's a pretty good car. Like, the stats itself, look, they are quite good. They are quite good. And also, plus with all the Imani tech you can shove onto it as well, it's not a bad ride. Now, this is also what I've done with mine. Now, you'd be like, it's a bit plain. You know? You normally have some sort of cool livery or, you know, some, like... But you'll see why, but I think it looks amazing, just plain. The black and the red just go really well, and the tyres, like, plus with the armor plating with the Imani tech and all that, I think it looks really cool. I'll show the inside as well quickly before we get going on the customization, but honestly, I'm quite happy with the car. So let's get into the customization, shall we? So before we go through all of it, I'm going to describe what the armor plating as part of the Imani tech actually does and how much it actually benefits you having it on. So without it on, just having the normal armor upgrade, the car will take 1 RPG, 3 homing rockets, and 3 explosive rounds, which is pretty much the norm for any sort of vehicle. But if you do get the Imani tech armor plating on, the car can take 4 RPGs, 12 homing rockets, and 10 explosive rounds, which is a lot better. Obviously, you can tell the difference. So I would very much recommend getting the armor plating if you like to cruise around in sports cars. It would help you quite a lot. Now, the only problem with the armor plating, which we'll see in a minute, is with the liveries, but we'll get into that. So let's start from the top and work our way down like we normally do. So armor's at 100%. Obviously, if you want to add the Imani tech, it's up to you. If you don't, that's what the car looks like without it. I have, and that's what it does. I think it looks cool. Plus, it's actually a pretty good upgrade to have. So the brakes, obviously at race. Fenders, so we've got none. I said that weird. We got none. We got primary arches, secondary arches, carbon arches, and then we got bolted versions of all the above. I've got the primary bolted arches on mine, which I think make it look pretty cool. So the bumpers, I'll go all the way back up to the first one. So we got the stock bumper, carbon splitter, the primary carbon splitter, secondary carbon splitter, the aftermarket splitter, primary aftermarket splitter, secondary aftermarket splitter, garage splitter, primary garage splitter, which is the one that I've got, secondary garage splitter, super splitter, primary super splitter, and secondary super splitter. So it's pretty much 3 of the same, just with different colour variations and stuff like that. Obviously the engine's at max like always, and you can change the actual engine, like the engine block, you can change the cover of it. Now I've gone with a nice chrome, so I'm not gonna go through. You can see what it looks like. It's up to your own personal preference, but I think chrome looks best personally. The exhaust, so I've gone with the chrome oval exhaust, and there's also carbon and titanium versions, but the stock is just dual exhaust with also carbon and titanium versions, and then you got infinity exhaust. I keep butchering words there. I don't know why, so I'm sorry about that, but you also got that in carbon and titanium as well, which is pretty damn nice. So the hood, I've done the tuner hood. I personally think it's the best one. And you got a carbon version, stream vent hood, carbon string vent, full carbon string vent, split dished, carbon split dished, and then these I don't really know about these. Transparent hoods. You have it in either your primary or secondary colour. I don't like it. obviously, I think it looks better having a proper hood, but I could be wrong. Or you can even just have the hood completely taken off the car. So, honestly, I'm not sure about the bottom three, but someone out there might like it. And if you do, that's fine by me. So you'll see you got the stock hood, which is plain and boring. We've got the carbon hood, the ridgeline hood, carbon ridgeline, race vented, carbon race vented. And this is one I almost did, because you can see the engine is the vanity hood when you got it in carbon as well, but I stuck with the tuner hood. I think it looked the best. Horn I haven't touched, and here's the Imani tech. So obviously you got the remote control unit where you can control the car controllably. You can have none obviously, or you can have the missile lock-on jammer, which is what I've shoved on to stop any missiles being able to lock onto the car, aka from Mark II creepers or jets, but the jets probably just use the explosive mag anyway. But it is worth having it, honestly. It is worth having it. It really is. Even though this isn't the best Imani Tech vehicle. It's not the best one. There's I can't remember the name of the one that's the best, but it's better than some of the old ones, I can tell you that. So it is worth picking this car up before it goes on the 28th. The lights, now I've done my headlights as red, as you can see. I did that in the LS car meet, but I have done a neon light of all the way around and in red as well. So this is what I mean with the livery. So the only problem is it covers the armor plating, covers the liveries, and because of that it ruins it. It ruins the livery. So because I had the black Stance Andreas livery on, because I thought it looked quite cool, but then obviously I shoved the armor plating on and I was like, oh, it ruins it. You can't, kind of gets rid of the aesthetic, because obviously on the other Imani Tech vehicles the livery goes over the armor plating. So Rockstar, please fix this so cars can actually look better. Like, it looks fine just like this, but it should be better if I could have that black line. It just look that much better. But yeah, you can look through the liveries yourself, obviously without the armor plate, and see what they look like. But they're mainly just racing livery. That's all you really need to know. So the wind mirrors, obviously I kept them at stock to keep the black. We can have them in your primary color or carbon. And I'm not sure about the bullet ones. I think they're quite strange, honestly, all the way up that far on the car. But you can either have them in your primary, your secondary colour, in carbon or in chrome. But personally, I'd stick with the classic where the mirrors normally are. I think that looks better. License plate, I still haven't changed. I still haven't made my own personal one. I'm going to make my own new one that will say BATZ with a Z. So it'll be BATZ. I need to get around to doing that, and I also need to update my crew logo, and I'll announce that when I do, because I think you lot can still join group. Yeah, I can't remember, but anyway, we'll talk about that another time. I did the proximity mines as well. I did the slick ones. Obviously, again, that's completely up to you if you want to. Now the rear panel, so you can either have it as the stock one, your primary color, your secondary color, or carbon. I did mine in the secondary color. So the colour, obviously, as you can tell, I've only done 2 colours, because, well, I can't really do a lot to work with this car, but I'm really happy with how this looks. I think it looks really nice. Really, really nice. So for the primer, I went with a metallic Formula Red, and the Passalant just Torino. Either I'm autistic, or I just can't read, and that's a really easy word, but you get the point. It's a Passalant Red, and then the secondary colour is a metallic black. Then the trim colour is also black as well, which changes that part of the car. So the roof, I go all the way back. So you got the stock roof, your primary colour roof, secondary roof, carbon roof, ridgeline roof in obviously the normal version, primary or your secondary colour, the carbon version, the inset roof, your primary colour and secondary colour inset roof, and I've gone for the secondary version. And then you got the carbon inset roof, and that's it for the roofs. Skirts. So you got obviously no skirts, carbon skirt, primary carbon, and secondary carbon skirts. Aftermarket skirt, and then the same in your primary or secondary colour, and then you got super skirt, and then again in your primary and secondary. And I did the primary super skirt. Just get that outline of red all the way around it, which looks quite nice. Spoilers. So as you can have no spoiler, the car does look nice without a spoiler, it does. You can have the ducktail in your primary or secondary colour, or in carbon as well. You've got the primary wedged ducktail, again in your primary carbon. The primary tuner wing, which I think looks quite nice on this as well, in your primary or secondary or in carbon. The aggressor wing in primary, secondary or carbon. And then you got the primary big wing, the secondary big wing, and the carbon big wing. I did mine in the secondary just to give the black on the spoiler. Suspension, I've got it at race. Transmission at race. Turbo, obviously, because we want it to be as fast as possible. And the wheels, so the wheels I did a high-end stock and carbon solar, and then I added the color of red, and then I added the tire design and also gave it bulletproof tires. And I think the tires are quite nice, honestly, on this vehicle. I think they do. Windows, I give them a little light smoke, and that's it for the customization on this one. So the Annis 300R has some good customization. Obviously, so far we've had the RV, which I did for Breaking Bad. We've had the Entity MT, which has the HSW upgrade to give it that extra boost in speed. We've had now the Annis 300R, which has the Imani tech, and there was another one which I can't remember. Oh, the Tahoma Coupe, which was just the free vehicle, which was basically just a lowrider. So, and then there was also the Surfer Custom, which I did last time, which is literally just a gypsy van. So currently, after this one, there's one more to do as of what is available for me to do until the rest get added in. So there probably won't be anything from me for a little while, actually, until that comes out. But I will do some other content stuff on other games. But anyway, so that's the customization and breakdown on the Imani tech. Now let's head to the airport, to that yellow line, and test the speed of this thing. Alright, we're here at the airport, and you know the drill. We start here at the yellow line with the car of choice, which today is the Annis 300R. As soon as the timer starts, we start driving down the airport as fast as we can until we hit those red lights at the end, and which the time will stop, and the time we get we'll use to guess the speed, which pretty much you know how it works, because the lower the time, the better the speed, the higher the time, crappier the speed. You get the point. But yeah, I'll show off the headlights in the dark. So I did forget to mention though, the only way you can get the Imani tech is you need to own an agency. If you do not own an agency, the Imani tech is completely off limits for you to even add onto this car. So I forgot to mention that, so I'm sorry. But with the magical word that I like to say, which is boom, the timer is now in the bottom right, and we will begin the race, or should I say the drag test, in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Now, obviously there isn't a HSW upgrade on this one, like the Entity MT, but it is a fast car, so I'm expecting a better time than the Surfer Custom, which got a time of like 32 seconds, I believe, which is probably, I think, the worst car I've ever reviewed. It was that slow, we was able to stop fully at the end, so let's find out. Thank God for the armor plating, look, not really even a crash window, but that's a much better time compared to the Surfer Custom, 19 seconds and 93 milliseconds. That is a lot better. So that is it. That's the review on this car. Would I say it's worth it? Absolutely. If you can, pick the car up before it goes on the 28th, because it's a good car. I'm just turning the engine on so you can see it in better glory. There we go. But yeah, I'd honestly say it's definitely worth picking the car up. You know, 2 mil, it's pretty much 2 mil. That isn't bad, to be honest, considering you can get the Imani tech as well. Obviously, bear in mind you will need money obviously for the customization of what you want your car to look like, and the money for the Imani tech. So if that's what you have in mind, do bear that in mind. But overall, I'd say it's worth buying this one. Because I think I've only said so far the BF Surfer Custom is the only one not worth buying, because that thing was awful. Okay, and I'm thinking of selling that thing. That's how bad it was. But I might not, because you know, I did take time, so I might not sell it. But anyway, that's it from me. I hope this was useful. I hope this has made your decision whether you're going to get this car or not, and if so, you're welcome. And if it did, leave a like below, and maybe even a comment. It's not up to me to make you do it, but it would be nice. And maybe even drop a sub so you can stay up to date with all the other ones I will do. Because currently there's only one left to do, which I will do the day after this one. and then obviously it's Christmas this weekend, and I will probably leave a break for Christmas and come back a few days after, because, well, it's Christmas. But anyway, if you want to see, I'll probably still stay active on my Instagram, which here it is on my right. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. I update you on everything I do or will do on here on there straight before. So go follow that. And anyway, I hope this was useful again. And if it is, enjoy your new Annis 300R. And thanks for watching.